Yeah, we back. Yeah, we back. Now, today we got an interesting video. We're going to be talking about a YouTuber, a pretty big YouTuber. She got over 1 million followers. And due to the type of content that she makes, I'm surprised she even has such a large audience, right? When there are people who actually produce content of substance who don't even got a fraction of that. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about the art of propaganda, right? And when I talk about propaganda, I'm talking about within the context of media, the dissemination of biased or misleading information or narratives aimed at shaping public opinion or influencing behaviors or advancing particular agendas, things like that, right? Now in today's video, we're gonna be talking about a content creator who goes by the name of Queen of Kings. I'm not too familiar with her content. I haven't watched too much of it. I watched some clips here and there. And when I seen her content a while back, I'll be honest, I thought it was corny. I thought it was corny. To summarize it, she's basically, I'm a black woman. I'm with a white man. The white man saved me, and the black man ain't about nothing, and all black women, you need to get like me. You need to get with a white man. This way it's at, we with the white man, providing better propaganda for white men than even white women do themselves. But now, in an unexpected turn of events, the truth has been exposed. To put it simply, the truth has been exposed. Apparently, the white man did not save her. In fact, you could say that she saved the white man. So I'm gonna play a clip, and I'm gonna come back with my commentary. Let's go.
What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Let's be real. Let's be real about everything. I met you in a basement laying on a mattress. Let's be real about that. Let's be real about the fact that you moved in with me, not the opposite of way around. Let's be real about the fact that I never felt comfortable moving to your house because you lived in the ghetto. Let's be real about the fact that I'm the one that found the house, found the realtor, did all the footwork, did everything, paid for the fucking deposit on the house, paid for the house, everything. Let's be real about that. Let's be real about everything. Since you want to say, let's put it on live. You're the one that told me to put it on live. So let's be real about everything. Let's be real about the fact that I paid for the Range Rover, the fact that I paid for motherfucking everything. Let's be real about it. Let's be real. Let's be real about, everything. You said, go on live, put this on live.
All right, we back. Now, you already know when I approach certain topics, I come from very unique angles. I approach it from very unique perspectives, and today's video is going to be no different. Now, shout out to Tasha K. Tasha K actually interviewed her, I believe, yesterday or the other day. So I'm going to jump into some clips from that interview, and I'm going to come back in my commentary. Let's get into it.
Of you and your husband who are in this interracial relationship. And then there would be a lot of memes created from your end to basically, I don't know, it seems like throw jabs at black men for not being for not being bred to you. Because you praised your husband a lot, and he happens to be white. And it seems like his color was more magnified than his manhood. And I feel the controversy is what kind of drove you into the algorithm.
Yeah.
All right, we back. Now, shout out to Tasha K. Tasha K, another major content creator in the black YouTube space, large following. So she understands how the algorithm works. She understands what buttons to press. She understands the game, essentially, right? So she basically let it be known that the reason why you were bumping in the algorithm, the reason why you was blowing up in the algorithm is because of the type of propaganda you are promoting, right? Now, for her to have 1 million subscribers, it really shows me that there's a large segment of women in our community that have an admiration for interracial relationships, right? And particular interracial relationships, the white man with the black woman, right? Because she's not the only channel that has a major following like this, right? So contrary to popular belief and contrary to what a lot of them like to tell us, a large segment of them have an admiration for this particular configuration of interracial relationships. That's why these channels blow up. That's why they have such large followings. The numbers don't lie, right? The numbers don't lie. If I was a purebred capitalist with no love for my people, I could easily start a media network, and I would have a segment on the media network simply for this, right? That's why shows like Scandal was going so crazy 10 years ago. And I got love for Dr. Umar Johnson, but I always got to bring up the fact. The fact of the matter is a large segment of women in our community, and this is worldwide, a lot of them have an admiration, they have an appreciation for interracial relationships when white men are involved. That's why they say things like, oh, the black mother with the white father is gonna be more in tune with the blackness and things like that. That's why when that mixed race chick, Meghan Markle, got married to, the dude from the British imperial family, that was such a big event. You had women going crazy for that. Right, and a lot of them was women from our community. So listen, it's just an underlying fact, right? And I want to give a shout out to Tasha K for keeping it real, because this lady right here was not simply running a channel where she was promoting and, you know, spreading propaganda based around interracial relationships, where she was actually simultaneously trying to denigrate the black man at the same time, right? Not only was she trying to pedestalize the white man, but she was also trying to downsize and downgrade the black man simultaneously, right? Throw jabs and throw slick disrespect at the black man simultaneously, while meanwhile she got black sons. So, you know, anyways, man, let's get back into the interview.
Okay, how many black men have you dated in your community? Besides your baby daddy? Yeah, besides your ex-husband, baby daddy, how many black men have you dated?
Maybe 2 or 3 besides him.
And so you're done with black men?
Naturally, like if I was not to be with my husband, I would not desire to waste my time trying to find the right black man. Now, if I just somehow just fell in love, you know, then I would be open to that. I'm not telling people to open horizons while I'm closing mine, but they wouldn't be like my first, you know, option.
That's kind of strong.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause you have a black son, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So are you know, is it okay if black women were to skip over your son and say, hey, based off of you know, my experiences with 3 black men, I'm no longer prioritizing men in my own race. Like, you're raising a black son without a black father, and right now his father figure is a white man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we back. So Tasha K had asked her, how many black men have you even been with, right? You have such a strong opinion on men of the black race. How many have you dealt with personally? How many experiences do you even have to have formed such a widespread and sweeping opinion over an entire race of men, a race of men that span multiple continents, right? It's probably about 500, 600, 700 million of us worldwide. How many black men have you been with? She turned around and say, I've been with 2 black men, 3 black men. And due to my experiences with those 2 black men, 3 black men, I am done with men of the black race. And now I am on a full-time mission to promote and pedestalize and sing the gospel of the white man. And then she done amass 1 million followers. And you know it's black women in the comment section, because you know white women ain't watching it. You know Mexican women ain't watching it. You know Spanish women ain't watching it. You know Chinese women ain't watching it. These 1 million followers she got, these is black women watching it. And that's why I tell y'all boys, you got to just stay away from women who be mixing and mingling outside the race, bro. Like, I would never tell y'all boys to go to different races of women, because that would be hypocritical to my message, because I don't deal with other races of women. You know, I'm just like an ethno-narcissist. I just love my culture, my ancestry so much that I just love myself so much I can never be with these other groups of women, because I don't respect their cultures. But you really gotta vet the black women you deal with, bro. You can't be dealing with these women that be watching YouTube channels like this, that be mingling with these type of mentalities. You just can't do it, bro. That's why I just stay away from women who be dibbling and dabbling outside the race, man. Like, that's automatic disqualification, bro. I don't want nothing to do with that, man. I would never tell y'all boys to go to different races of women, but I tell y'all boys straight up, you gotta stay away from women like this, 100%, bro. 100%. Now, of course, if you have this type of policy like me, if you're an ethno-narcissist like me, then finding a woman who's compatible with your mentality is going to be difficult, because most of them have a, you know, colorblind, you know, love is love type of mentality. But they're out there, and I've dealt with them. You know, those are the women I deal with. Period, straight up, bro. Like, my women got to be prejudiced. You know, I'm sorry, you know, the women I deal with, she got to have some prejudice inside of her, man, because, you know, the topics I like to talk about politics. I like to talk about history. I can't be dealing with a woman that be, you know, got love for the whites. I'm sorry, man. You know, that's just me though. I also loved how Tasha K touched on the fact that you're raising black sons, right? Because she has children with a black man from a previous relationship, right? So you're raising black sons. You have black sons, but you have a YouTube channel where you are downgrading the image of the black man. So your sons are gonna have to grow up in a world where you have disseminated information and propaganda against them. So how would you feel if other women carry those prejudices against your son, right? And also, the father figure, the role model for manhood that you gave your son is a white man. And on top of that, a white man who's a bum, right? So that is the model for manhood you gave your black son. So obviously, as you can see, her black sons are not going to grow up to be intelligent, well-rounded, cultured, strong-minded black men. Her sons are already done for. You know, her sons are going to be some jellyfish, weak-spined black men. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, you know, they're not going to have no self-esteem. They're not going to be able to be black men, black husbands, and black fathers. They're not going to be able to be competent black men when they grow up, because look at the environment they're in, right? Their mother is a self-hater, and their father figure is a unaccomplished, incompetent white man. So unfortunately, her sons are done for. Her sons are done for. And if their biological father had any sense, had any morality, had any dignity, had any self-respect, he would do everything in his power to get full custody of his children. Because if I was in a situation where I was dealing with a woman, it didn't work out, right? And then she went off and, ran off with some white bum, some bum ass dude who was white, I would do everything in my power. And on top of that, she made a YouTube channel, disrespecting and denigrating the black man. I would do everything in my power to make sure that my children are under my protection, under my guidance, under my leadership. I would not allow my children to grow up in that environment, right? Because anyway, that's their business, man. That's their business. Anyway, let's continue.
So is it fair to say that you're only with a white man because you can't get the black man that you want?
Oh, no. No, not at all.
All right, we back. Now, why is she lying, man? Why is she lying? You mean to tell me, or maybe she might actually be telling the truth, man. Maybe she might actually prefer to be with a white bum over an accomplished, intelligent, and industrious black man. Maybe she might genuinely feel like that, right? Maybe she might genuinely feel like she would rather be among the white community, right? She would rather be with a 2-star white man than a 5-star black man. She might genuinely feel like that. Or she might just be front for the camera because she has an audience of 1 million people and she got to make sure that the propaganda continues to be disseminated. Let's continue.
Why would you say that?
I don't think so. I prefer them based on their morals and their values, and it's just different. And I speak about
white men have better morals and values than black men. And
all right, we back. Now, you brothers wonder why I tell you have to stay away from women who be dibbling and dabbling outside of the race, bro, because they carry certain ideologies and certain mentalities that will be toxic to your children, bro. You have to understand, these are the women that are going to be raising your children, the next generation, your sons and daughters. Imagine getting married to a woman, having children with a woman who genuinely believes that men of the European race are superior to you in terms of morality and values. Imagine creating children with that type of woman. I feel bad for the black man who made children with this type of woman. Obviously, he was a goofy, but this is one of the reasons why I stay away from those type of women, because you have to have some type of distorted view of reality in order to even lay down with a white man as a black woman. I personally feel like that. You have to have a distorted view of reality to even get involved in that type of relationship, man. Because based on history and facts of the matter, I don't understand how it could be any other way. It's not like they have much in common. It's not like, culturally, ancestrally, historically, they have much in common. Like when it comes to me, I only deal with black women because I have a supreme admiration for black culture worldwide, all black cultures, It doesn't matter what ethnicity she could be. She could be Senegalese. She could be from the Gambia. She could be from Kenya. She could be from the Ivory Coast. She could be from Jamaica. I have a genuine admiration for all of our cultures worldwide. And on top of that, there's a lot of commonalities we share in terms of culture, music, dress, food, cuisine, history, ancestry. It's a lot of commonalities we share. But when it comes to, these interracial pairings, those commonalities aren't there. Like what do you have in common with, the ancient Greek civilizations and the Germanic tribes of ancient Europe and things like that? You have nothing in common, right? So you have to have some distorted view. Oh my God, the white man is so morally superior to the blacks. Like, imagine, that's why you got to stay away from women who be dibbling and dabbling outside the race, man. I'm sorry. If you're an intelligent black man, do yourself a favor. Only deal with black women who you are equally yoked with in terms of mentality and ideology. Save yourself the stress, man. Save yourself the stress, bro.
So white men were the creators of the slave trade, but they have better morals and values.
But in 2024, as a whole, I believe so.
But you do know, when we're talking about statistics and facts, right? Because you are basing it on statistics. You do know that when we look at why black men don't take care of black women, it's because of white men separating black men and black women from their families. And we just came out of the civil rights movement, literally during our mom's time. My mom went to school in the 1960s. So we're literally talking about 40, 50 years.
Yeah,
so
I do get it, Tasha, but it's like...
And this is due to the laws that white men put in place to ensure that black women like me and you would look at black men and say, we prefer to be with a white man, because white men physically couldn't measure up to a black man. So what they did was attack them mentally, spiritually, and financially, so that we would look at them as the go-to. You do know that, right?
All right, we back. Now, I don't understand why Tasha K was wasting her time, giving her a history lesson. You got to understand that women who engage in this type of lifestyle, they don't care about history. They don't have no connection with their foremothers they don't have no connection or care for their ancient cultures and civilizations or what their ancestors went through. They don't care. They don't care, because if they did, they wouldn't be engaged in this lifestyle in the first place. So as you can see, you know, Tasha K, you know, trying to, you know, drop knowledge, but you know, she looking brain dead. The chick over there looking like looking like an airhead. She don't give a goddamn about none of this stuff you talking about. The 1960s, the 1840s, the Berlin Conference, King Leopold in the Congo. She don't care about none of that. You can see it written all over her face. She don't care about none of that. You trying to lecture her about what her foremothers went through, and they don't care. They don't give a damn. You know, they don't give a damn, man. That's why I tell y'all boys, you got to stay away from women who engage in this lifestyle. Get with a woman who actually has a connection to her foremothers, actually has a connection to her ancestors. Get a woman who actually has respect and honor for her ancestors. They're out there, brothers. I mean, it's not a lot, but they out there. They out there. You know, I believe it. They out there. And it's important for you to get with the woman who actually has reverence for her ancestors, because then she'll be able to transmit that same love for the ancestors down to your children. You can't get with a woman who has no connection and no admiration for her ancestors, and you think she's gonna transmit that down to your children. No, your children are gonna be just like her. They're gonna be airheaded. They're gonna have no connection. They're gonna be thinking white people are morally superior to the black race. They're gonna have a bunch of distorted ideologies, man. That's why I always tell my brothers, the woman you choose to have children with, it's a major decision, right? It's a major decision. The black man that chose to have children with this woman, obviously he wasn't thinking that far ahead. He obviously wasn't thinking that far ahead. He was only thinking for a night, right? He wasn't thinking into the future. So, you know, you boys got to really take into account when you lay down with a woman, the woman that you're going to make the mother of your children, you got to make sure she's equipped with the proper mentality. She's equipped with the proper ideology to transmit that down to your children, right? Because she's going to pass down whatever she has. She can only pass down what she has, right? So whatever that may be, positive or negative, she's going to transmit that down to the babies, right? So as you can see, she's raising, like, I don't know how many, she got like 2-3 sons, right? So you think she's going to raise some young Malcolm X type figures? No. She's gonna raise some young tap dancing, you know, probably chasing after white women type dudes, man. Like, she's not gonna raise no real black men, you know. So, man, you boys gotta really take this into account, man. Let's continue.
Gotcha.
What happened?
Why you keep saying white husband?
Because like that's how you paraded him. Like he was the best. A white man, a black man's treasure is a black man's trash is a white man's treasure. Like you paraded him, and let's not act like you didn't. Let's not act like you didn't get your following from black women who looked up to y'all biracial relationship.
As they should. Okay, so
now I want to get back to propaganda, right? Because her YouTube channel is nothing but propaganda. The women who watch her YouTube channel, they're simply victims of propaganda, right? They're living vicariously through her. They have a distorted view of reality, and a lot of them have this imaginary image of what it means to be with men of other races, right? They have a very pedestalized view of other races of men that doesn't really reflect the reality on the ground. And that's why these YouTube channels and television shows like Scandal were able to be so successful. A lot of them genuinely feel that as soon as they cross over and deal with another race of men, they're gonna reach the land of salvation, right? The other races of men got endless bank accounts, they got boats, they got yachts, they got Ferraris, Rolls Royces, they got, you know, Chanel, Hermes, Dior, man, you know, just endless money, man, you know, generational wealth from the colonial period. They really have this fantastical view of these other races of men, which is funny to me, because if you ask the women of those races who actually live around these men and raise these men, their sisters, their mothers, their aunties, you know, their daughters, they don't even have this fantastical view of these men. You know, that if you ask them their perspective, they're like, man, these dudes ain't nothing special. But meanwhile, you got women like this and the women who watch your channel, they have this fantastical view of the white man. Oh my God, the white man, the morally superior white man with the generational wealth and a Rolls Royce Phantom. Like, it's crazy, bro. It reminds me of something that I seen somebody say on social media. Take a look up on the screen. This person said, white men have never claimed to pay for everything. White women never claim that white men pay for everything. Some black women have kept this lie in circulation to hype up white men. I've told people that I know many black women who date white men, and those men are usually broke as hell. They date these men for their skin. And I believe it, man. I believe it, because the men who actually do have that, you know, that old money, who really got the money and all that nonsense they talk about, those men tend to be ethno-narcissists just like me. They tend to be really in tune with their culture just like me. They tend to have an admiration for their culture and the women of their culture just like me. They're not really dibbling and dabbling and doing charity with the black race like that. You see those women married to women of their cultures, right? They keep it inside the family just like me, right? Because I come from a family who, we got a few dollars as well. So I understand how it works. I've been around, high society white folks. I went to school with them, like, listen, I went to a private Catholic school my whole life. So I've been around the so-called, the high society white man they be talking about. And those men tend to stick to their people, right? So this idea that they're gonna get with the white man and the white man gonna fund my lifestyle, I'm gonna marry the big rich white man, it's not the fact of the matter. You're probably most likely gonna be just like this lady with a white dude sleeping on the couch that you gotta pay everything for, right?
I met you in a basement laying on a mattress. Let's be real about that. Let's be real about the fact that you moved in with me, not the opposite of way around. Let's be real about the fact that I'm the one that found the house, found the realtor, did all the footwork, did everything, paid for the fucking deposit on the house, paid for the house, everything. Let's be real about that.
And even if they don't get with a bum like this who's sleeping in the basement on the couch, the men they're dealing with tend to be just average guys that work, regular jobs, a guy who works, in insurance or something like that, or a guy who, drives the city bus or something like that, or a guy who works at, a restaurant or something like that. They're not dealing with these guys who come from old money. They're not dealing with these guys who great grandfather owned, 3 plantations and owned, 65 slaves. They don't have access to those guys. Those guys is marrying white women. And I'm not saying those guys don't deal with black women because, a lot of our women, especially our young women, they're involved in the sugar baby lifestyle. So those men are dealing with them to have fun. But in terms of, when it comes time to break bread and break down this paper, they going back to their white women. They're going to deal with the women from their similar culture and similar social class. When they decide to get married, they're going to marry a woman who comes from their culture, whose grandfather also owned, 3 plantations and owned 75 slaves as well. They're going to combine their money. They're going to keep it inside the family because those men tend to be ethno-narcissists just like me. Same reason why I only deal with black women. And when you look around the world, that's how men of high status and high resources tend to operate, right? When you look at the upper class Chinese man, he dealing with the Chinese woman. When you look at the upper class white man, he dealing with the white woman. Even when you look at the upper class black man, I did a video on that a while back. When you look at the wealthiest black men in the world, the black men who amass their money from industry, from their intellectual capacity. I'm not talking about the ball players and the rappers. I'm talking about the black men who actually got their money by engaging in high level business, the captains of industry, right? Those men are married to black women, right? Whether it's Aliko Dangote, whether it's Mike Adenuga, whether it's Strive Masiyiwa, whether it's David Stewart, whether it's Patrice Motsepe, those men who got their money through industry and their intellectual capacity, they're married to women of their culture, right? And you notice that's how men of high society, that's how they operate. So this fantastical propaganda they spread about how, oh my God, we gonna get with the mega rich white man. No, you're not. You could probably be a sugar baby at best. But when it's time to get married, nigga, he gonna throw you in the trash. Now, anyways, man, I want to get into this video that I seen that really drives this point home. So let's get into it, man. I'll come back on my commentary.
But what I do care about is the fact that so many of us see people happy online and we be like, oh, I want to be just like them. Not knowing nothing they really go through. This girl then said, oh, he came about to save my life, gave me nothing but good hope. Changed me and my son's lives. Even hooked up with other like interracial couples to kind of make it seem like, all black women should go this way too. Only to now be on live and cussing him out, going off saying how he was a bum sleeping in somebody's basement. She paid for everything and yada, yada, yada.
So I worked in the hospitality industry for quite some time, being in the fashion industry, club promoter. I worked in a lot of restaurants. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, see, when I became a manager at a lot of these establishments, one thing that I came to learn, and it broke my heart, and I'm not gonna lie, it fucked me up then, and it still has fucked me up till this moment. I'm not gonna lie, it really has affected the way my judgment towards certain people. But 8 out of 10 times, you see a sister come in there, a black woman come in there with a white guy, she's footing the bill. That blew, they had me convinced with all the videos on social media that, yo, these white men are out here killing us, they're taking our best women, blah, blah, blah. Till I got into this industry, started working, and my dude, a lot of times, 8 out of 10 times, you see a sister at an upscale restaurant with a white guy, she's footing the bill. It blew my mind when I started learning this, when I started seeing it. Jeremy's on the Upper East Side. Look at it. Go look it up. It's the only upscale bar on the Upper East Side in New York City. And so basically that whole, you could imagine the kind of clientele that comes there. And every time I see a black couple come in there, the black man is paying. Every time I see a black woman come in there with a white guy, the black woman is paying. And I'm like,
all right, we back. Now, I mean, listen, bro. Like I told you before, man, the men who do have the capacity to, you know, provide that type of lifestyle, they're probably providing it to a woman who shares their reflection, right? Shares their culture, right? Now, of course, sometimes these dudes be tricking. They be having sugar babies and things like that, but that's not something that's going to last a long time. That's just, you know, he's just having fun for a short period of time. He just paying rent for a few months and he's going to move on to the next. But at the end of the day, man, you know, I seen an interesting comment under this video. Somebody had said that, brothers, these women, they got you in an arms race with somebody who's getting their weapons for free, right? And that was funny to me. They said they trying to put us in an arms race against somebody else who's getting their weapons for free. That's crazy, bro. But what's also funny is I seen this video too. Take a look up on the screen. This lady said, how I found out I was with a poor white man who thought he found a hardworking black woman. But what was funny to me was the comments. Let's jump into the comment section, man. This lady said, listen, I've been trying to tell the girls, all of them ain't rich. This lady said, I got a similar story I'm ashamed of. This lady said, this has happened to me, unfortunately. This lady said, the same happened to me, never again. This lady said, never again. This lady said, unfortunately, I got tricked, but I got out of it like a runaway slave. This lady said, because you never thought I came to the other side for it not to be beneficial. I need my reparations. Now, I never understood why people talk about having romantic relations with white folks and they try to compare it to getting reparations. Like, how is having intimate relations with white folks getting your reparations? I never understood people who said that. Like, you having a romantic relationship with a white person is equivalent to getting reparations for the atrocities of the Middle Passage. This is why I stay away from these goofies, bro. This is why you gotta stay away from these goofies, bro. Like, man, this is why you gotta stay away, bro, because the mentality is backwards, man. Let's continue. This lady said, if his bank account doesn't say that his ancestors were stealing and colonizing, then I don't want it. Now, this is another backwards ideology. So you only want to deal with white folks whose ancestors were committing atrocities against yours? Those are the only ones you want to be with? Yo, and she probably thought she said some fire when she said that too. Man, that's why I say, bro, I don't deal with no women who engages in that lifestyle, man, because like I said before, you have to have some type of backwards mentality to even get involved in that type of lifestyle, man. She said the only white man she want to be with is the white man whose ancestors were committing hate crimes against hers. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. She basically said, listen, if your ancestors wasn't burning my ancestors alive and whipping them and beating them to death, I don't want you. People are crazy. Let's continue. Now, I did a video some months back entitled The Deadly Consequences of Divestor Propaganda, right? A young lady out of Milwaukee, I believe, went by the name of Sade Robinson. She met up with this guy that she met online. I think the guy was like way older than her. You know, as you can see, dude looks like a complete, he looks bummy and disheveled, and he just looks dirty. You know what I mean? He looks unsanitary. And this lady on the left, you know, as you can see, you know, nice looking young lady. And they don't, you can see, look at them side by side. They don't have nothing in common. Now, unfortunately, this young lady met her demise the first night she went on a date with this guy. He took her back to the house, ended her life and dismembered her and chopped up her body parts and spread it all over the city. And as you can see, they're still finding her body parts. You know, they're still washing up ashore. Right. I think one time they had found a leg over here. They found a foot across town. And recently they found her arm like 50 miles away in another state. Right. So her body parts are washing up all over the United States. They haven't found her head yet, though. Her head is still missing. But I labeled that video the deadly consequences of Divestor propaganda because I couldn't really understand why a woman who, a young lady, look real nice, good looking young lady. I'm sure some young brothers around her age probably wanted to get at that, but for whatever reason, she felt inclined to get with this disheveled and unsanitary looking white man who was way older than her. I think he was in his like mid 30s. She was only 19. And unfortunately, she met her untimely demise. And I labeled that video the deadly consequences of Divestor propaganda because I believe that the only reason she gave this guy a chance was due to the propaganda being disseminated by women such as the lady who has that YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers, right? Trying to pedestalize the white man and always downsize the black man. A lot of our young women are watching these channels, especially these, our young teenage girls in high school and college. They watching it and they don't have no life experiences to go off, right? So they just think that the women, the older girls are telling them the truth, right? They think the older women are telling them the truth. The white man, he is saved. The white man gonna save me. The white man got everything, right? And a recent story came out as well recently. This lady right here, take a look up on the screen. LaQuanda Robinson, I believe she's from North Carolina, 15-year-old girl, been missing since February. And she recently popped up in Illinois with some 45-year-old white man, right? And it's a crazy story, right? Take a look up on the screen. 15-year-old Kannapolis girl rescued from a sex abuser in Illinois. An Illinois man coaxed a 15-year-old girl to take a bus to Chicago so he could sexually abuse her at his home. He encouraged her to take a bus from North Carolina to Chicago earlier the next month. He then allegedly picked the victim up from the Chicago bus station, took her to his home in Green Oaks, and sexually abused her. Local detectives saw Andrew Sheck, 43 years old, leaving the home with the victim on Wednesday. They rescued the girl and arrested him. A search warrant at his home revealed that he had a firearm, 2,700 grams of weed, 30 grams of drug-laced candy, 55 grams of mushrooms, 27 cannabis plants, and over 55 Adderall pills. So, this is the guy right here, smiling in his mugshot. So some random, druggie from Illinois somehow convinced a young 15-year-old black girl to take a bus to come to his house. Now, I have to lay this at the feet of women like this lady who got the YouTube channel always promoting this propaganda. Like I said, the topic and the subject of this video was propaganda. And a lot of our women are not only promoting propaganda, but they're also victims of propaganda. Now, luckily, this girl is safe. Nothing happened to her. She's back home with her family. But she's been missing for the past 6 months, right? She left her home back in like February, and then they found her in another state with some middle-aged white man who got a house full of drugs and guns and shit like that, right? This is not some, high society white man with a boat and a yacht and all this old money from the colonial period and generational wealth they be talking about. This is a bum-ass dude who got a house full of drugs. And the only reason he was able to convince that girl to hop on a bus to come to him was because of this same propaganda, this nonsensical propaganda that some women in our community feel so compelled to promote. I'll never understand it. So when you see these type of YouTube channels that got over 1 million subscribers, that's our women watching that. That's our girls watching that. Our young girls in high school and college, they watching that. And they actually think it's facts, right? They're very impressionable. They actually think you're giving them sound advice. They actually think they're giving them sound advice. And the only person who benefits in the end is the criminals and the degenerates and the low vibrational sociopaths who are able to take advantage of the situation. In summary, propaganda is a very real thing. Propaganda is very real. Like I said before, if you ask any of these women who engage in this lifestyle, these divestors and swirlers, you'll quickly realize that they themselves are victims of propaganda. Because if you go to a white woman and ask her opinion on white men, she's not going to tell you this fantastical story about the white man got all the money, the white man got a Rolls Royce and a Ferrari and a boat and a spaceship. The white woman ain't even going to tell you that. The white woman doesn't be saying that. If you want to be honest, white women, they be talking down on white men, right? White women be talking down on white men. So I'll never understand it. Some of the women in our community are better promoters, marketers, and propagandists for white men than even white women are. And white women actually raised those men. They raised them, they grew up with them, they changed their diapers, and they don't even be glorifying them like that. So, somebody lying, right? You talking about the white man got everything, the white man is amazing, the white man is morally superior. But then when I go to the white woman and I ask the white woman, I put the white woman under interrogation, how come the white woman isn't verifying your claims, right? How come the white woman isn't backing up your claims, right? It doesn't make sense. Somebody lying, man. Somebody lying. But anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari. That's Aleem back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash app in the description. Support the album, man. Support the album. Peace.
No. Feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders. You know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife. Yeah, hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I mean no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news. Back in my city, they loving me. Standing alone, I'm 100 deep. Enemy plotting and still in reach. They trying to make sure that we underneath. Trying to make sure that we never make it. Coming for power, come get acquainted. Coming for everything that I wanted. Feeling like Drake, but I really wrote it. Feeling like Kendrick, I'm checking names. Gotta roll up while I go insane. Got so much stress, I've been gained weight. Stuffing these racks in this Louis case. One thing for certain, I'm about to shake. Keep it 100 and nothing less. Stick with the family since day one. Had to stay down till my day come. Had to stay down, but I'm never patient. Hop on the mic and I'm motivated. Hop on the mic and I drop a classic. Haters can't see me, they copping glasses. Back in the studio making magic. Got a new tape and it's in production. Back on my business, I got a budget. Staying low key when I'm out in public. Feel like I'm 75. Know that your team be full of them traders. You know that can never be mine. I'm grabbing a thought when I drive. I'm back in my zone and we on. She said that she ready to come be my wife. Yeah, I'm hoping I don't do her wrong. I gave her my word in this bond. I'm whipping the best like a lamb. I mean no chicken and lamb. Accustomed to call me the man. I never be up on the gram. I'm keeping that way undercover. She want me to tell her I love her. I told her I'm breaking the rules. I told her we making the news. Making the news. Making the news. Breaking the rules. Yeah. Know that we making the news.